What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. May the 4th be with you. This is easily going to be one of the best recaps of the year. We have one of the best swings your eyes have and maybe will ever see. I still can't believe it actually happened. This should be impossible. That was a grand slam swing, by the way, and we had a few more grand slams, including this one off one of the dumbest pitches of the year. The Angels, they're looking like they might finally get back into the win column, but then, this happened. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Pete Crow Armstrong, they showed off their genetic lottery talents again. Tatis with his legs, PCA with the stick. And Jake Myers of the Astros, he's kind of known for his defense and speed. He had 7 RBIs in one game. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's recap, but before we do that, I do have to give a shout out to myself. I am so close to 100,000 subs on Fuzzy Gaming, my MLB The Show channel. I started a brand new giveaway wheel series where every single gameplay, if we fail a challenge, we have to do a mega giveaway. So go on over, subscribe to Fuzzy Gaming. I'll put the link in the comments and the description. You guys are about to see one of the craziest swings in baseball history. That's not BS, that's not hyperbole, that's not me being dramatic. We'll talk about that swing later in the game, because before that, both teams, they traded blow for blow. Pause. Brent Rooker went 410. JJ Bleday had himself another day, another solo home run. Wait, we have breaking news. Police are looking for Marlins GM Peter Bendix because he robbed the Orioles and stole Kyle Stowers. 422 feet on that 2-run home run. They traded even more runs as Luis Urias hit a 2-run home run, only to have the game tied right back up on a Javier Sanoja RBI double down the line. Then there was an Xavier Edwards sac fly, another sac fly. This time off the bat, the rookie, first name Nick, last name Kurtz. It's 6-4 now. Urshela, he doubled in Jacob Wilson. Mason Miller, he's out there with a 2-run lead, and he saves this game 9 times out of 10. This was the one game he did not save because he walked in a run, and then Kyle Stowers, he's a freak who can apparently catch 102, and not just 102, up and away 102. That walk-off grand slam gives him a 2-home run, 6 RBI day. He's batting .325 with 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, and an almost 400 on base. They got this kid for Trevor Rogers. He was like the extra throw-in after they acquired Connor Norby, who was the big fish in that trade. And by the way, Connor Norby, he was insane last year, starting off slow this year, but Trevor Rogers put up a 7 ERA with the Orioles last year. He has yet to pitch this year. So do we think that Trevor can bounce back and turn in a great second half when he comes back for the Orioles, or is it already a full-blown robbery? And Peter Bendix, he might still be on the run for doing that. Not to pour salt in the wound or anything, but like the Orioles, they got shut out and they got dropped to a shocking 13-19 record. After a long rain delay, India, he sprayed one to right field. It's still really weird to see him in a blue uniform after seeing a red one for so long. Michael Garcia cashed in the runner and scoring position chance to make it 1-0. And we've seen this guy in a blue uniform before. Kevin Biggio, that's his first as a Royal. I really thought that he was going to be a star at the very least with 16 home runs as a rookie. He had a .370 on base his first 2 seasons combined, but maybe he was a juice ball merchant. I don't know. Chris Bubich, he kept the ball on the ground all game long. You have a nice scoop from Michael. No double play, but that's all good because Bubich completed 5 shutout with a weak tapper. Bubich has a 1.98 ERA this year and a 2.2 ERA since last season. Sagano, he did a great job to limit the damage to just 2, but again, his offense got torn up. Kansas City even added a few more runs on some solo home runs. Isbell has 2 on the year. Vinny has 2 the last week and 4 on the year. By the way, he has 5 hits, only 5 hits his last 7 games. 3 of those 5 have left for a home run. The Orioles, they shut out the Royals, and then the Royals return the favor by shutting them out. We're just getting started with the grand slams. Okay, before that, Bo Bichette, he finally hit his first home run of the season. He's been swinging it pretty well. He's got a bunch of doubles, but the power took forever to show up. That's his first since May of last year. Gavin Williams, he's the weirdest pitcher I've ever seen in my entire life. He had the most Gavin Williams start ever. He walks in a run. He went 4 innings, allowing 7 base hits, 5 walks, but only allowed 2 runs because he also had 9 strikeouts in those 4. Again, the weirdest pitcher I've ever seen. Colby Allard, he's been a buzzsaw for the Guardians out the pen. 4 innings in relief, just 1 run. He kept it close and allowed this to happen. Daniel Schneemann was the entire Guardians offense. A solo home run in the 8th. He showed off the quick hands. He got his barrel through on an inside 95 fastball, and I actually audibly laughed when I saw this next swing. With the bases loaded, they threw him the exact same pitch, same location, same miles per hour. He already hit that pitch out. What are you doing? 2 home runs, 5 RBIs in 2 innings. Clase had a 1-2-3 9th inning for a 6th save. I forgot he had that many saves because he's been so bad, but he closes out a literal one-man army comeback courtesy of Daniel Schneemann. He better not sit ever again. I'm never going to skip a home run, but after this Luis Matos home run, we're going to have to get the remote and hit the fast forward button. Matos, he's so weird. He's like the Gavin Williams of hitters because he has power for days, he doesn't strike out, and he makes a lot of contact. Those are good combinations, right? But he chases at awful pitches, and because he's so good at making contact, he puts those awful pitches in play, so he's hitting 229 his first 135 big league games. The Rockies defense showed up. Ryan McMahon, he had the turn and burn over the shoulder catch, and Jordan Beck, he fired a dart to first base to double up Jung-Hoo Lee. That's kind of it for the Rockies highlights, and no, I'm not going to show their little 3 dinky runs because they didn't matter. The Giants loaded him up for the grandson of the win, and he laced the ball up the middle to bring it within 1. The bases are still juiced. There's nowhere to run. You got to face the dangerous Matt Chapman, and this is how I pitch an MLB The Show. I save my worst pitch of the game for the worst possible moment, a fastball right down the middle for the meatiest meatball ever thrown, and of course it's with the bases loaded, so 3 consecutive games with grand slams to win it. Ryan Walker, he got some help from the blue. That was ball 4 called strike 3 to end it. Walker has 5 saves. The Giants are 21-13. Aaron Judge is doing Hank Aaron things. No, literally. He has 11 home runs and a 430 plus batting average through 33 games. The last guy to do that was Hank Aaron in 1959, and then before that, Jimmy Fox, who was an absolute master. He's in the Hall of Fame as well. He did that in 1932. By the way, I forgot to mention the Yankees are taking on the Rays as Taylor Walls. He ties it with the sac fly, but Yankees fans, they'll take that because Ryan Yarbrough, he went 4 innings after Clark Schmidt was scratched. He was supposed to go, but the Yankees needed an emergency starter. Austin Wells, it's not tied anymore. He's got 24 doubles and 19 home runs his last 144 games, and on top of that, he's become one of the best framing catchers in baseball. Zach Littell of the Rays, he only allowed 2 runs over 7. It's just that the Yankees bullpen really held his lineup in check until this is bad. Volpe, he said he heard something pop, a literal pop on this dive. That shoulder's really bugging him. The Rays, they got 2 ducks on a pond with a double steal, and Curtis Mead, he brought it back to an even game. Caballero, he put a ball in play, but I don't think that this was a result of that bum shoulder. Volpe's error unfortunately cost the Yankees a double play and the game. Judge, he grounded out with 2. He can't do everything, but he ends the 8th inning. As Pete Fairbanks, he came in for the final inning. He wrapped up his 7th save. The Rays, they finally snapped their losing streak. It ends at 4 games in a row. Guys, I don't know what else to say about this kid, Pete Crow Armstrong. He stepped in and he showed out again with 2 runners on. Pete Crow Armstrong pulled an outside fastball for a 3-run home run. Over his last 21 games, he's hitting .321 with 7 doubles, a triple, 9 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases. That's 17 extra base hits in 21 games. And again, he plays some of the best defensive center field I've seen since, honestly, Kevin Kiermaier. He has 21 outs above average his last 157 games. Don't get me wrong, Varsho, he can go get it too, but Pete's got Kevin Kiermaier speed and an absolute cannon for an arm. The home runs, as you can see, they kept on coming. We have 1 from Dansby, who quietly has 7 home runs. Rhys Hoskins, he's been on fire over the last few weeks. He's hitting .340 with 4 home runs with an insane .450 on base because the walks are back. I think that's over 2 weeks. Kyle Tucker, he's up to 9 home runs already. No one else scored after that, so the Cubs, they send the Brewers to 5 games back of first place and a 3-game losing streak. The Cubs are the opposite. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 21-13. The Dodgers are obviously in there. We finally got to see Ha-Seong Kim make his debut, but we got to show this Padres game real quick because Tatis, he's just as much as an athletic freak of nature like PCA. O'Neal, same thing. That's a 118.4 mile per hour single, just way too much to handle off the bat of O'Neal Cruz. So they go up 1. That was it off of Randy Vasquez. He allowed 1 run in large part because Brandon Lockridge has an intervention from Modern Warfare 2, like the first NW2 attached to his body. That was an absolute seed. Bailey Falter, he didn't fault. Okay, he faltered just once. It was against a likely future Hall of Famer, though, so it's not that bad. Manny's 3rd home run resets the score. Gotta tip my cap to Bailey Falter. He did end up going 7 innings. After that, Nando the Freak took over. He roped a base knock down the line. He galloped around for a double. He turned on the afterburners and stole 3rd base, and he's still got reserves. He's trying to score on a ball that got blocked and barely rolled away. That's vintage Tatis. What? He once scored on a sac fly basically to the infield. He can do things physically not many other humans in the history of baseball have ever been able to do. We got a scary 9th inning. O'Neal, he took a walk. Reynolds scorched 1, and that is a double play. Robert Suarez has a whopping 13 saves. The Padres barely win 2-1. The Dodgers didn't need any one specific superhuman performance to beat the Braves because they got a collective W. Even though Shohei is still very much a genetic marvel, he has 8 home runs and only 11 RBIs. He also also has 9 stolen bases, so he's on pace for 41 home runs, 46 stolen bases, but only 57 RBIs. The Dodgers, they kept firing away and spraying RBI base hits all over the place. Teoscar's up to 33. Mookie, he snuck one past the diving Austin Riley for an RBI double. Freddie Freeman sliced another RBI, but shout out to Alex Verdugo, who just barely missed an insane throw from left field. Ozzy Albies, I'll show this for my Braves fans, he socked his 5th home run. Roki wasn't sharp at all. He allowed 3 runs over 5, but because his offense was so lethal, he's going to pick up his first career MLB W. And by the way, this next guy has such an unfortunate name. His name is Scott Blewett, a reliever with the last name of Blewett. Freddie showed exactly why that could be so unfortunate. Like, imagine if this was a walk-off home run or something. Freddie had a 4 RBI game. He's hitting .350 with 21 home runs. Hesung Kim made his debut. Nothing really happened, but he had 5 home runs with 13 stolen bases in 28 games. Tommy Edman just landed on the IL, so obviously it was time to call him up. The Dodgers, they win by 9. They're MLB's first team to 23, but honestly, I think the Mets would have won, but their game got rained out. The only other double-digit scoring came from the Nationals out in Cincinnati. Alex Call, I got to talk about this freak. He's hitting .338 with a .430 on base since last year. Now, I know that's only over 52 games, but he might have a top 10 eye in, okay, maybe this might sound a little bit dramatic, but a top 10 eye over the last 15, 20 years. He never chases, and when there's a ball in the zone, he swings and does not miss. Like, his plate discipline and eye is historically good. The Nationals got a second run, so this right here is a game-time 2-run double for the man who rakes Spencer Steer. He's been swinging a hot bat lately. The Reds actually went up 1 because Trevor Williams just kind of sucks again. He's good, then he's bad, then he's decent, then he's awful. The Nationals, they got a bunch of runs from a very unlikely source. That source, Ahmed Rosario, he went bananas. That's an RBI double, and then a 3-run pimp job 2 innings later. That ball was smacked. James Wood, he had a really nice day, 4 base hits, and the first few went a combined like 100 feet. Nathaniel Lowe cashed him in. Jake Fraley, he wanted a clip and a recap for once. There you go, buddy, a nice little home run. Riley Adams, that's a 2-run single to get to the elusive double-digit box score. Lowe makes it 11 runs as the Nationals, they win 11-6 after Ellie doubled in the final run, but Steer, he ended it with a can of corn to CJ. The Nationals are top 15 in runs and base hits, but they have a brutal 5.21 ERA as a pitching staff. The Halos were actually behind the Nationals in team ERA, but they got it just below Washington, and you won't believe which one of their starters nearly went 8 innings. If this was a road to the show moment, I think that team chemistry would have gone down a few points because Green and Carey, that kind of ran into each other, not to the point of injury or anything, but the ball did drop and a run scores, but okay, the team chemistry is back up. They talked it out, everything is fine. Nothing happened between the 2nd and the 5th. Jack Flaherty lost his command, though, in the 6th inning. He walked Darno, who's been awful. You cannot do that. This is going to happen nearly every time if you walk a terrible hitter. Luis Rengifo, he bonded baseball for a 2-run single. He immediately stole second base, and the week 1 maniac Kyron Paris, he waited beautifully on a curveball. He ripped it to left field for another 2 RBI knock. Those are his first RBIs in 18 games. Now, look at who's pitching. Kyle Hendricks, he's out for the 8th. Torkelson, he's also out in the 8th. Like, no, he actually hit one out. That's his 10th home run. Kyle Hendricks went 7 2/3, just the 1 run allowed. The Halos bullpen, they're not used to having a lead, and Brock Burke, he's folding bad. Abanez had a single. Glaber had a long double because Kyron misplayed it. You got to catch that. Kenley, he's in, and remember, he folded the day before, but he got 2 pitches and 2 outs. Yes, 1 does score on the Riley Green RBI ground out, but Colt Keith ended it with a perfect straight to a defender. I got a question for you guys. What does the rest of 2025 hold for the Angels? Like, what do you think, in your expert fan opinion, is going to happen? Are they going to ship out everyone? Are they going to keep on trying and get back in that division? I ask because the Mariners are fully locked in, and to me, there's a better chance that I wake up 6-3 tomorrow morning than the Halos making a run for October. Seager's back. He got a front row seat to J.P. Crawford blasting off for a 3rd home run, though. Patrick Corbin, he rolled a clutch double play to leave him loaded. That was a long 1st inning. He did settle in. I've been waiting for him to kind of implode, but there's his catcher ripping one past the infield to knot it at 1, and it stayed that way for the next hour and a half because Patrick, he's still holding strong. Somehow, he went 5 2/3, only 1 run. He has a 3.28 ERA, which is actually lower than Luis Castillo, who did go 6 innings, just the 1 run. He has a 3.29 ERA. Texas, they rolled another clutch double play. This one actually ended the top of the 8th, so skipping to the 9th now, Jorge Polanco, he corked a missile to right field. Adolis, oh man, you got to maybe throw that glove in the oven and break it in more. Ben Williamson, he moves over Polanco. Mariners fans were very mad that I accidentally called him Brandon. Mariners fans, there used to be a prospect for your team named Brandon Williamson. Everyone makes mistakes. Chill. But Ben did his job. Polanco probably would have scored anyways, or maybe they would have pitched different to Rowdy Tellez. I don't know. Senior Smoke, he turned in yet another scoreless ninth. He has 12 saves. He has not allowed a single run. He also has a 2.3 ERA since 2022. The Mariners are 5-0 against the Rangers, and Mariners fans cyberbullied me even more because I said they were the Rangers' little brother. I meant it in a sense of, you guys have made the postseason once since 2001. The Rangers have been to 3 World Series and won 1 in the last like 14 years. But maybe that doesn't make sense because I actually did look at the record. Yeah, the Mariners have destroyed the Rangers in the regular season over the last few years. You guys are right about that. The Astros and the White Sox are trading embarrassing game for embarrassing game, I guess. Jake Myers, he pulled a Daniel Schneemann, not with the Grand Slam stuff, but with multiple home runs to win it. His first one made it a 2-run game, and wait, he tripled as well? He's one of the better speed defense guys. Imagine if the stick keeps going, and it stayed that way in this game. I mean, look at this. His third extra base hit is a 3-run moon bomb. What is that? 11 total bases already. Hunter Brown, he pitched angry after a pretty bad first inning, if I say so myself. He strikes out the side in the 6th to end his afternoon. He had 9 strikeouts total. He really locked in. Zach DeZenzo, he got in on the extra base fun at 7-3. And Jake, like I said in the intro, he had 4 extra bases in one game. He had 13 total bases and 7 RBIs. I think that's the right math. If not, I'll get grilled in the comments again. But if I got it wrong, let me know. I think that tied a Houston record of 7 RBIs in one game. The Astros are 17-15. The Diamondbacks were 17-15, but now they're 17-16 because they lost Aaron Nola. He had the strikeout stuff going early. He nibbled the corner versus Corbin, and then he got Josh Naylor looking. Max Kepler, he must have entered in the up-down X circle, D-pad, right trigger cheat code or something because he has 7 extra base hits, 8 RBIs, and a .330 batting average his last 13 games. The team is fired up. I didn't know that Marshy's back, but Marshy's back and you love to see it. You could tell like the world was almost lifted off his shoulders by his reaction at second base. He was basically saying, thank you, Jesus. He scored JT. Now JT is scoring himself. Brandon Pfaadt ate the Phillies alive before this start, but then he got eaten alive and torn up for a 6th spot after JT's 3-run no-doubter. The Phillies ended up with 7 after an error, and Nola, he was lights out. Everything was working. The fastball, the knuckle curve. He goes 6 shutout with 8 strikeouts. He needed that because with that shutout, he has a 4.6 ERA. Lourdes, he cranked one out for a 2-run home run. That was a 6 swing, by the way. I was not going to ignore that. Like, that was really sick. The Phillies still take it. They're 1 win away from 20. Again, the Diamondbacks are 17-16. We have a former Philly doing big things in front of his 7-time Cy Young dad. Hold up, Jaron. He is wreaking havoc on the bases. There was a botched pickoff move. He sprints to third base. He's so fast, he's going to score regardless whether he advanced or not. Devers gets the RBI. And by the way, he was not playing first. Romy is, and he almost ruined this play. Like, where was he going? The Twins score, and it could have been even worse, but he got his little cleat on the bag. It's 1-1. Bailey Ober and Hunter Dobbins, they locked in with a little duel. And I already kind of hinted at this, though. Cody Clemens, he unloaded on a pitch for a 2-run skyscraper. Roger Clemens, his dad was obviously there. That's got to be the best feeling in the world to homer in a ballpark that your dad dominated. He probably spent a lot of time as a kid in Fenway. Trevor Larnach had a clutch lefty single to score Harrison Bader. It's clutch because the White Sox, what am I talking about? The Red Sox stormed back. Look at Jaron. He's moving. He is a blur. That is an RBI 3-bagger. Devers goes up the middle. Again, a little deja vu to score Jaron. It's a 1-run game. Now you have Johan Duran coming in, and Twins fans, they'll tell you he's been a little bit shaky as of late. Lots of base runners, but he's somehow getting out of it. Same in this one because 2 got on after the Bregman intentional walk, but that was the correct move. Willier gets jammed on 102 on his hands. Johan now has 3 saves on the year. The Twins are still a shocking 12-20. The Red Sox are 18-17. That does it for today's recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and just a reminder, head on over to Fuzzy Gaming because we're going to be doing giveaways all year long. Let's get to 100K. See you guys over there and enjoy the web gems.
Going on looper, left field. Bellinger has to go back, twisting, turning. Oh, what a catch!
Bounce to the right side. What a stop by Guerrero, and he feeds.
Cleveland went 0 for 3. He's going to sting this on a play by Story. He lays out.
1-2. Tapper over the mound. Tough play for Henderson, and he's got it.
Line drive out to left field, and Kepler comes sliding in.